Sweet. Yeah. Yeah, I just shared your post.
Three,
Oh.
2, 1, and Jen, we're live.
Good evening, down to our Twitch family, and any way that you're listening to this at all. Thank you for being awesome. You are about to enjoy the Degenerates with Dice Monday Night RPG Talk Show. I'm sorry that your crazy crackhead energy, Noah, is not here tonight to entertain you, so you have to put up with me. So, you've got me, I'm Jen. You've got Kristen,
Hello.
and you've got Joe.
Hello.
And for tonight, it's just the three of us,
That's all right.
and we are ready to chit chat and take questions and entertain you tonight.
Wait, hold up, Joe. You misspelled my name on the cover. Now I'm sad.
Oh.
My heart hurts a little bit. It's fine. It's fine.
What did he do?
What I
He put
do?
an E in it instead of I. It's Kristin.
Oh, okay.
T
That's
I
all.
N.
It's all right.
Oh, my bad, my blunder. I will get.
All good. All good.
It's IN. She's metallic.
Jen, I have a story to tell here in a minute.
You can tell it now if you want.
Okay. So went to Vegas this weekend. It was awesome. Went with some friends. I caused a motorcycle wreck.
Father's Day, my middle son got into a motorcycle wreck.
Oh no. Wait, it wasn't bad though. Okay, so check it out. I was wearing a dress and I was walking to a casino for a show that we were going to. And I stopped over to take a picture of the little white chapel. And the guy, there was a whole like pod of motorcycles that were coming through. And one of the
Mhm.
guys like did a wheelie and blew me a kiss and promptly ran into the guy in front of him. The dress looked good though. I looked cute. I'm just saying, but yeah,
I
shit
believe
was
the
funny.
kids refer to that as Riz these days. Is that they
Is it
refer to
Riz
that as
now? I've got Riz.
Riz?
Hell yeah,
Riz? I
on
don't
it.
know. That's why I'm asking. I'm not a.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm
called
not
Riz.
a
I've heard the
confused.
kids at school say Riz. I am way out of that loop.
Yeah.
I
I'm
haven't heard
trying
that
my
one
best here.
before, but
It's short for charisma,
Is
apparently.
it? That's what it is. We should know that. That should be a thing that we know.
In theory, yeah, but I mean, we're over 30s. I mean,
Yeah,
gotta
I'm
cut
way
ourselves some
over
slack.
30. Hold on, I got people blowing my phone up asking about the link for the thingy. So hold please. I'll
Okay,
be right back.
okay. So yeah, our topics for today are Savage Worlds, which probably not very good light. Savage Worlds book. Um, what else we were talking about? Five things that GMs wish their players could tell. Their
wish they could tell their GM.
yeah,
Things
yeah.
the GM's want to tell their players.
Thank you for being my brain today.
Oh, wait, hold on. That means I can tell you guys shit
Yeah,
because you're my
yeah,
players?
yeah.
Oh jeez. Alright, alright.
And then we were talking about what favorite foods to eat while playing.
Nothing
Good
crunchy,
gaming
but yes.
food. Yeah. And then Fallout 76 updates. But first we're going to talk about gaming wins. Dieting.
Nope. Same. Fucking
yeah,
same.
yeah,
Like, we don't just make up words. Don't
yeah.
just do that.
We did it too. We did it too when
Yeah,
we
but
were
we were cool
kids.
about it.
That's what they think that they're doing. I mean, yeah, the
No, this generation is not cool. Like,
Gen Z isn't cool, but like they don't know that they're not cool. That's okay.
They squat their
that's right.
trucks.
yeah, yeah.
No, hold on. We did that too, though. Like, I watched a guy at my school. Like he had his truck like down, like bagged or whatever it is, and he was pushing a Copenhagen can across the parking lot.
Right, but it's it's level. It's just dropped.
Yeah.
You drop them, you raise them, but this is the Carolina squat. It makes it look like it's a dog dragging its butt on the ground
Ew.
because yeah,
Gross.
they put the front end up and the back end down.
No, no. Well, that's like when they changed
I,
the what's it called, camber on their wheels. Like when they
oh yeah,
made
yeah.
them.
Chamfer, yeah, where they tilt them in. Yeah,
Yeah. I know the word
That
I'm looking
just-
for. It's just not here
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a car
I
guy.
am pretty, I'm
so,
not smart.
You know, like. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like we forget about all the uncool stuff we had, like Jinkos and Ubas and all that.
Hold
So,
up. Jinkos were cool.
No, they were not. They were cool
I
when
never
we were
wore
kids,
them,
but
Shut your
now
whore
but-
mouth, Joe.
I said what I said. I
I
stand
said what I
on
said.
I didn't wear Jinkos. I hung out with the crew that wore the Jinkos. I dated a guy that did the Jinkos.
Yeah, I dated guys that wore Jinkos, and the chain wallets and all that. But to be fair, I had bangs and wore
Tamagotchi.
overalls. Tamagotchi
Yeah.
days. So there's a
Yeah.
song by Jax, that one that sings that I know Victoria's Secret. That's the '90s kids,
Mhm.
and it is. I like that song a lot. 'Cause I'm like, I know
I
all the
Tamagotchi
references.
you if you Tamagotchi me.
Yes. Yes.
What?
Oh
I
my
remember
god.
being a kid and having a Tamagotchi and just being super stressed out about it. This is like
Yo.
I can't be responsible for much. Like it
That
was just
tracks
like
with you though, Joe.
yeah. Like I don't like having kids, and now I have this virtual pet. It's like Jesus Christ.
Right? Well, hold on. So I had a Tamagotchi, and that is how I got caught with cigarettes when I was in like high school.
Oh really?
Because hold on, like I had my cigarettes. I was like 16, 15, 16, and I had my cigarettes in my purse in my room, and I had my Tamagotchi in there, and I had left and gone with my friends and left my shit at home. My Tamagotchi is going off like it was dying, so my mom's going
Yeah.
to try to save the Tamagotchi and finds my cigarettes in my purse.
That is the most 90s story I think I've
Oh
ever
man.
heard.
Yeah, like I was not a good kid. I'm a better adult, but I was not a good kid. And like one time my friend and I, we were not supposed to be hanging out together at all. Like both sets of parents forbid us from being together because we were always in trouble. And she came and got me during the summer in her Mazda. And again, we're not supposed to be together at all. And parents are at work. We're driving down the freaking road in town, and the whole entire tire falls off her car. And like it rolls and it hits a house, and we have to call her dad because we don't know how to put a fucking tire back on.
Yeah.
It's great.
Awkward.
I am not a role model, kid.
Was she
Don't
allowed?
listen to me.
Was she at least allowed to be using that car?
It was her car. Like she
Okay.
was
Oh, that's
allowed to
good.
do it. She just wasn't allowed to be in my vicinity because if I'm the voice of reason in any situation, we're fucked. And her and I together were just one big bad decision. Because we're like, fuck it, let's see what happens. Like we
And
never
that's why you are a bard.
hashtag Bard Life. No, I would be so proud.
Bard
Hashtag Bard
Life.
Life. I'm just saying I would rather have a story than a regret. Like
Yeah.
I was accidentally in a play that ran for 13 nights one time.
Yeah.
Accidentally. Fuck around and find out exactly. No, like I was Vampira and Saucer Girl in a musical version of Plan 9 from Outer Space that ran for 13 nights at the Ridge Theater in Fort Worth. I went to an all casting call, and I was watching the like auditions. I wasn't gonna be part of it. And they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Watching." They're like, "Well, come up here." I'm like, "I don't think so." They're like, "No." So I got the part of Vampira. I walked around stage with like this long ass wig on, looking like Patricia Adams. No lines at all. I would carry a cutout of Bela Lugosi, and that was a musical, so there was dance scenes. And I was also Saucer Girl. I wore alien antenna and a silver spray painted sports bra and a skirt that had a hula hoop in it. It was silver, and I danced around the stage and got chased by a guy with a bazooka on his crotch and a gas mask.
That's
I-
life. That's called living. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Christmas
There's
story.
worse things you can do for 13 nights.
Hey, done those too. Sorry. Anyway, gaming wins. I have not played. So what do y'all got? Please, something good.
My gaming win is it's 76 when they did their new scoreboard. I ended up with the last scoreboard ranking out at rank 206.
I thought
Wow.
you were stopping at like 200. Good job.
I figured, well,
Hell
try to get
yeah.
as high as I can, get an extra. If I'm playing, might as well.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Get
so
the extra
gaming
items.
win. One of my friends, I convinced him to start playing 76. He plays on Xbox, so I can't play with him.
Awesome.
But he is playing 76. He's like level 26 right now. Shout out to Alan. Good job. So,
Welcome,
Good
Alan.
job, buddy. Welcome to the wasteland.
Say goodbye to all your free time.
right?
My gaming wins are AD&D. We had a really big battle in our last session where we almost killed the big bad, but we weren't able to because we needed to roll nat 20s in order to hit him pretty much, and that was just not going to happen. He got away, but we killed all of his hit.
Nice.
Hopefully, we can kill him soon. Yeah. Other
Hopefully
than
your
that,
your GM doesn't have ADHD like this one does, because I will forget that you're doing something like that.
I'm not sure. I'd have to ask. I got
Do
some
you
cool new
roll
books.
better?
Huh?
I was asking, do you roll better for that game than you do with ours?
No.
Uh,
Um, I
but
got.
but your failures are always spectacular.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
make sure
yeah.
that I fail well because of my I don't roll well. What was I gonna say? I got some new books. I
got new
got some
books.
Hero Quest books, some old school Hero Quest books
Oh,
that were
nice.
really cool that are really hard to find. I
Hell
got the
yeah.
what's it called? The 11 Lights, which pain in the butt to find, but I got that for.
Where'd you
Quest.
get that at?
I got it off of Noble Knight Games. It's like every once in a while one will pop up because there's only one available on eBay and it's $200 for that book. Like I'm not gonna pay $200 for a book.
Right.
I was able to get it for 65 off of Noble Knight, which is still more than I wanted to pay. Book that and it's a great
Not
campaign.
$200 though.
Yeah. And then I also ordered the new Savage Worlds Fantasy Companion, the full set, and I'm pretty excited about that.
That's exciting. Like, I love that that you get all the books and stuff. Like, I have a lot of like rule books and world books, and every GM does, but I
Yeah.
don't read them. I'm aware I have them. I understand that there's information in them. I core rules, and every once in a while I'll try to get like some lore or some shit. But normally, like, driving the story is you guys. So
I guess for me, I look at it because like my what's in my job, like I do a lot of referencing, so I'm so used to
too.
referencing that like every book is somebody else's brain. The way I look at it, and like the way they design a game or think about it, how a session should go, or something
Yeah.
like that. Like everyone has good ideas for it, and as long as I have the book, I have access to the brain and thoughts, so I can
Okay,
always
why do you have to make it
reference.
logical?
Yeah, I mean that's just kind of how I operate. Every book
like
is
it.
somebody else's brain that you have access to knowledge that you or at least a way of thinking that would not naturally come to you. Having all
I like it. I know. I feel a lot of pressure. Maybe it's the pressure I put on myself when I read those books, to make sure that my world aligns with that. Like, I feel like it's expected at that point. So if I just don't know what's in them, I don't feel pressured.
I mean, the trick to GMing is that like you just take what you want and leave the rest. That's the whole point.
Oh,
It's like you're not going to agree with like I don't.
no.
I play a ton of games and I don't necessarily agree with the way that Fallout 2D designed their game. We've
Same.
had this discussion before.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, no, I
so
get that. I just feel pressured, and then I feel like I'm not giving my players what they want, I guess.
I mean, your players will tell you what you.
Well, I would fucking hope you would, because you guys are mine.
Yeah, I mean, like
And
they're not going to play with
honestly,
you for
if
years and years, not doing a job.
Hey, we're going on 2 years. We're doing strong.
and if
Never ending campaign.
we yeah, and if we don't have the book, we don't know what it is either.
So I say, hey, Joe, where's this at?
Chat says you can't always get him into their demands, which is true.
Wait, who's they? I need
The
context.
players' demands. You can't give it to all the
Oh,
players.
no.
Yeah.
I will give in to them, but then I will screw them on the backside because I'm a very
Monkey's
nice
paw,
person like that.
bitches.
Yeah, like I.
I'm part
Like-
Fae.
Yeah, like when players think that they're getting their way, that's when it's always my favorite because like I know that they're about to get screwed, and deep down they know that they're about to get screwed because it's just like, okay, you really want to do this? Yeah, go ahead, do it. You want that? You can have that thing. Okay.
And that's how you get
That's
dog
fine.
meat's head on a vertibird.
Yeah, that's how bad shit happens. All right, cool. So Like our group for AD&D, they want to go back to town. We're in the middle of a dungeon, right? They're like, let's leave and go back to town. I'm like, absolutely not, because that dungeon's just going to refill with bad shit. Like, I'm not going back into that. But the rest of the group is
That
like,
respawn rate's atrocious.
yeah. So I'm like, I'm not going back into that shit. Like, we're killing everything that's in this right now. Like, I don't care if we're on the hills. We're killing
You're like,
everything that's in this bitch now. Like, I'm not going back.
we got food at home. Like, we you
Yeah,
have your
yeah,
dogs ready to go.
exactly.
Absolutely
Yeah,
fuck not.
yeah,
Stay
yeah.
here.
It's a D&D version of we got food at home. Like, no, we're not. We're not doing it. And
Oh,
luckily, the DM convinced them to not do it because I was the only one who was just, let's just stay here. Like, okay, but remember, when the dungeon doesn't stop operating as soon as you leave. It's still a thing.
right.
So, yeah.
Maybe I'm like different as a GM when I'm like, absolutely the fuck not. Like, if you leave
Uh,
and come back, I will screw you over. Like
yeah,
that,
exactly.
you know
Yeah,
this is
yeah. Like
happening.
it's a dungeon that's operating. It's full of monsters. Yeah, it's gonna just like it's gonna get worse. Like because you've already gone through the traps, so you know which one's working, which ones don't. Like you just
Right.
like no like.
Ooh.
Sorry, but I
Sorry, I have
digress.
ideas. Okay. Oh no, you just gave me a whole bunch of ideas. Okay, Chaos Recycler, here we come.
So I guess first
He's
and
not writing it
foremost,
down, so it might not count.
I guess I was gonna do. I
Or
mean, we've been
just
trying to do Savage Worlds for a while, so I guess now I can actually
yes.
talk about Savage Worlds. Okay, so it's my favorite system. I'll show the book again. I have bad lighting right now, but horrible book. It's $40 for a hardcover. It's worth the money. So Savage Worlds is a generic system, so
Pretty
you can
cover
play any.
art.
Yeah, yeah, it's really good art, and there's a lot of art in the book too. It's a generic system, so you can play any kind of game with it. So if you want fantasy, sci-fi, all of that, it can be played with just the one rules in the one book, which is why I like it because it allows me to play a bunch of different games while still using the same rule set. So like like if once you get comfortable with Savage Worlds, you can play any game you want within the exact same rule set, and they also have a lot of pre-made settings that are also really cool. I can show you some of those. But the few core concepts is that it's kind of poker based, which is nice. So like you do initiative with cards, so it's very visual. So like it's good for like an actual like in real life table game because you do everything with cards. So it's very visual. So the GM doesn't have to write down people's initiative and stuff like that, which is all automatically for my ADHD brain a good thing.
We're supposed
Uh,
to be doing that. Shit.
I mean it depends on the game, yeah.
Okay.
But like for like if you're running like fifth edition D&D, you're writing down people's initiative. Uh, it has exploding dice, which is nice because everyone likes exploding
17 has
dice.
exploding dice. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's a variable dice mechanic, so it's not like a D20 game where you roll a D20 and try to get higher. So
Mhm.
essentially, how it works in Savage Worlds is you have a target number of 4, and you have a
Okay.
die that corresponds to your skill or ability. So think about like if you have a strength of 6, you would have a strength of D6, and so when you
Okay.
would make a strength check, you would roll that D6, you want to get a 4 higher. If a strength of 12, you're a
Okay.
lot stronger, so you roll that D12, you want to get a 4 higher. If you roll the highest number on the die, it explodes, then you just keep adding. So for every 4 over 4 that you get what they call a raise, which is like a bonus effect. And
Mhm.
so like people could get like maybe having like a D4 in a skill, and they have rolled over 100, and then they get all of the bonuses to that from getting that amazing roll from that D4. And then as a player, they also get what they call the wild die, which is another D6. So let's say you have a D4 in agility, so you're not very fast. You still get your D6 that you can also roll. That's like your safety die, your wild die. That if you roll a 4 on either of those, you still pass. Because the wild dies are for special characters, for main characters.
Okay.
So the main characters are called wild cards. So any
Okay.
big boss will also get a wild die, and players get a wild die. But regular characters are referred to as mooks. They don't get wild dies. They just get the basic dice, and they only have 1 wound, whereas all wild cards get 3 wounds.
Okay.
So 3 wounds, like so to get a wound, you have to have a certain like a toughness score. I think it was like an AC. You have to get above that, 4 above that to wound them, and then every
Mhm.
4 above that adds another wound. So it's really hard to
Okay.
kill people, but you can kill them really fast if you explode on your dice. But so
Okay.
essentially, it just like it differentiates. So like the mooks only have one wound, and they are less likely to hit because they're essentially expendables. They're called extras. Extras. So like you could have a ton of enemies on a table, and the players
Yeah.
can have fun killing all those enemies and still have the one big bad guy that's really hard to kill.
Okay.
But that way you don't have to worry about balance as much because the extras aren't going to be able to take a lot of damage. They're there for mathematic value, but they still allow the players just to kill a bunch of stuff each turn and have fun without, you know, and actually add to the story without, being at
Right.
too much of a risk. And you can have multiple actions. You can choose to have multiple actions. You can take a negative two. You can take up to 3 actions per turn, so you can like shoot a gun 3 times, which is
Oh
nice.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, so like it's a cool system. The other last thing I'll talk about is bennies. So bennies are think about like luck points for us.
Uh
You
huh.
get like actual poker tokens, poker chips,
Okay.
and it's like a free reroll. So like you can just like the GM will hands them out, and then you can hand them back to the GM, and it's just free rerolls. And so I actually use it in other games too. So like anytime somebody does something cool, you just like it. If they make the GM, if you make the GM laugh enough, they'll give you one. Anything that adds to good times and adds to the story or anything like that, you get a Betty for it. So like it makes and also like I guess I should talk about this next. But if you use your they call like hindrances, which is part of your character's personality, like the bad part of your character's personality or a bad part about their life, you get a Betty every time you lead into that, even though it may not be the best thing to do for your character in that moment. But if you lead on your hindrances and who you are as a person, you get that Betty. So, and part of character generation is that you have to take at least a few hindrances. So the hindrances are just like things that they could be like you're arrogant, you're bad mouth, you have one
Like the
leg.
hubris kind of thing.
Yeah, like things that make you more human. So like you're not just
Okay.
like you're not a hero in the sense like D&D is where you don't have any flaws, anything, and you're just like, oh, like
Eh.
yeah,
Every
I'm just
character's
a
flawed in D&D.
intrepid paladin who's just here to save the day. That's not a thing in Savage World. Everyone has flaws. There is no alignment. Everyone has flaws, and that's kind of and when you really lead into those flaws, you get rewarded for it in the game. So I really like that. So I guess I'll show off a couple of books I have on it. You
I have
got
to look at you on my phone because I can't
okay.
see
Yeah.
you on our cast.
Yeah,
Same.
yeah, yeah. So I got Horror at Headstone Hill. This is Deadlands, which is Weird West. So if you like Western games and you want to add some monsters to your Westerns, well,
Hell
Deadlands is
yeah.
pretty much it. Uh,
That's
this is actually just an adventure for it. It's $30 for a box set, by the way. The prices are very reasonable. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a game that's reasonably priced. What else I got? Got our Deadlands book right here. This is called Deadlands Noir. If you like those old 50s, 40s noir movies,
I
also
like
with
those.
monsters, yeah, this is the game for you. It's hard to get the book. Hard to get this book now, but if you can find the book, get it, play it. It's great.
Nice.
Uh, Favorite game of all time is Rifts. Yeah, so Rifts is my favorite game of all time. It's like everything and the kitchen sink. It's a Gonzo game. So magic. It's post-apocalyptic, but it has magic in it. There's giant robots in it. It has drug-induced superhero type characters in it. Like everything you could think of is in
That'll
this
make you
game.
jittery.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's an all-encompassing game. It has a really cool setting. I recommend everyone play Rifts at least once and play the Savage Worlds Rifts because um,
Well,
currently working
do
on a
you want?
campaign for this.
How easy is it to do a Savage Worlds one shot?
Very, very
You
easy.
want to run one night for us?
Yeah, I could totally do that. Yeah, yeah.
I'm down for
Um,
that.
and then I'll show this last book.
Hell
The
yeah.
Superpowers Companion book. So if you want to play a superhero, this book is just full of superheroes. Like you don't even need this book. You can actually play superheroes with just the core rules. But this
Oh
book
nice.
it has like every super. They have multiple companions, fantasy, all that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Do you guys have any questions? Just Bobby with questions about it.
I am like I love that you're passionate about it, and if you're passionate about it, then I'm passionate about it. So I maybe would like to play it.
Okay.
I'm down for that.
Like I'm the systems that I know are very limited, just
Yeah.
because I don't have a lot of exposure. But if you want to run one night and I can figure like play and learn the mechanics of it, I would love that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's a very simple mechanics for players to play it, especially like if you're playing like a straight up game. I'll definitely figure out what to run as a one shot then.
Oh yeah,
Not
just
Rifts
remind
because
me
Rifts is
something
a
we're
little more
doing.
complex. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like the core concept is just target number four. Like everything else is on your character sheet. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a very simple game.
Hell
But you
yeah.
can make it
Let's
more
do it.
complex, obviously. It's very simple, and it's all about action. You know what I mean? The exploding dice and all that. It's all about just how wild and can it get, and it's a beer and pretzels game. Best way to put
I like it. I am for it. Let's do it. And I have more to say once I figure out like how it works
it. Yeah.
for it.
Nexus moment. What's happened? What's happened? Yeah. Well, I guess we'll want to run shout of it, but I just wanted to highlight that this week. Uh, yeah, just talk about it for a while. Yeah, but if you have any questions, anybody else in the chat has any questions, feel free to ask or shoot us a message after. That
Yeah.
I'll still get back to you. Uh,
For it.
yeah. So next up is let's talk about favorite foods for gaming.
Like online. Like hold on. What kind of gaming?
Both
Like
online
when I'm
and
in the room
table.
playing my friends. Do it.
Both, both. So obviously it's different because when you're on a mic, you can't eat chips, but like when you're with friends, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
I like if I'm at a table with people playing like D&D or some shit. I always try to bring snacks for the table. Usually something sweet and something salty, or I'm the salty one. That just has shit to say all the time. So
Well, the pirate table, that makes sense. You have to be salty at the pirate table.
Yeah. Brighty, brighty.
briny, good word, good word. I like it. But if I'm online, like playing 76 with people, I won't eat anything crunchy
Out of respect.
ever.
I do, but it's only because I have a flip to mute mic. So
Oh, okay.
that I just flip that up, and I
I
only
do, but I
play with.
forget.
I mean, at my AD&D table, my DM, his wife always cooks. And we're usually eating like pizzas or whatever. So I said, pizza's always a great game. I think it kind of goes hand in
Yeah.
hand with nerds. Like, we like pizza, like us. You
Yes.
Um,
Well, pizza's
but I
easy.
remember Russell commented when I posted on Facebook. You guys who don't know Russell Davis, he wrote the game Sigil and Shadow. If you like horror games, you go pick that up.
Yeah, patches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Patches. Yeah, he
Went
also
to
played
school
one
with
of our
him. He's
campaigns.
badass.
Yeah,
We love
yeah,
him.
he is badass. His game is great. It's another one to pick up. I probably will eventually highlight that one on. Apparently, we're getting decent news now. So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, he said that vegetable trays are good for games because it's healthy, but you don't carb up and all that. So you know, it,
Well, and it depends on how long you're playing too. Like if you're
yeah,
gonna do
yeah,
like a 5-hour Saturday session, cookout, I like it. But if you have a
food counts
cookout, do you have to walk away from the table to check the grill, or is it all prepped beforehand? Because I would forget there's food on the grill.
Yeah, I would totally.
Like, I'm hungry. Oh shit, it's midnight, and now we
Yeah,
have charcoal burgers.
I mean, if I was playing outside, I could grill. You know what I mean?
Nope,
Because I'll prep
prep
before.
beforehand.
Okay,
I
I'll
okay,
like
put
your
my.
style.
yeah.
I like your style. Potlucks are fun. Have everybody
Potlucks are
bring
fun.
their own shit.
Yeah,
Whenever I was hosting games at my house, when Matt was running 7C at my house, I would do like something in the crock pot. I would do like taco chicken, where you just
yeah.
shred the chicken, you make a taco bar. Like that worked really good. But I like to entertain. I like to make sure that people are entertained or served. I like doing all that stuff. I have matching Corning where I like to make sure that it all goes out.
as a person who is culinarily challenged, I
Oh, I
tend
don't
to
like to cook.
order
I crock
stuff.
pot.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even crock pot. I can burn water. Like, I'm just not that.
I have caught spaghetti on fire before.
Oh, okay.
Really pretty, not super smart. I know
Yeah,
my
I mean,
role. But no, I like the crock
like,
pot. Like if I can put it in and leave it alone,
yeah, yeah.
and then my timer goes off, like I'm good.
Then it just simmers. I was gonna say, I don't like alcohol at my tables. I had a table
I'm
flip
not a
because of
fan.
alcohol once, and ever since then, I've just been, don't drink. Period. You know what I mean?
No.
Or if you do drink, like in moderation, because I will call you out on that shit. Because I really don't want people at
Yeah,
my
no.
table, because it never is well. Um,
Well, it's not fun. Like there's a like a nice place for the stasis, and everybody's happy. But there's
yeah,
that line is real hard,
yeah,
like easy to get over.
yeah,
Well, like when I was
uh,
in Vegas this weekend, people shit faced everywhere, and I'm like, you are paying all of this money to
yeah,
come here and do this, and you are gonna get shit faced
yeah. You're a
And
blackout
not
now,
remember
remember?
any of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I
or
mean,
feel like shit the next day. No.
that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't like. I'm, kind of okay with just about anything. I don't like alcohol. Um, dietary restrictions, we tend to respect those. Some of my people at my like in-house game have egg allergies. We respect that. Even if they're a vegan, I have a vegan place near my house, so I mean I can make that
Nice.
work.
I'm
Yeah,
allergic to pork.
it's just like, yeah, as long as you don't get shit faced drunk, I'm really not that.
Yeah.
I'm not that big.
Well, and being allergic to pork like cuts down on a lot of things that I can be served, like
Oh,
because I
really?
can't have bacon, I can't have pepperoni, I can't have sausage,
Damn.
any of that. So I feel like a jerk when I'm like, okay, what's in this? Because I don't want to get
Yeah,
sick.
yeah,
But yeah, so
I'm lactose intolerant, but I don't care.
fuck it, I'm eating the pizza.
Yeah.
I support you. Live your truth.
Jen, how about you?
I've never done an in-person table.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
but with my craft group, we get together once a month and we'll pick something that we want to do. We'll do it as a light lunch kind of thing to, okay, we're in the middle of crafting, so we can't have, food at the table, crafting and stuff because you don't want glitter to get in your food. And you don't want your food to get on your project. Um, but you mentioned the like taco bar thing. That's one thing that we do where they'll do a macaroni and cheese bar.
Hold on.
Mhm.
Coming from the generation that drank the shit out of Goldschlager, I beg to differ about the glitter in the food.
Goldschlager was the dumbest
Just
shit
saying.
ever. That shit's still even
I've
around. Like,
never
I
had
don't
it.
know. Oh, it's terrible.
that was the dumbest shit ever.
It's terrible. It didn't taste like cinnamon.
I don't know, never had it. I could never afford it. We drank SoCo during that time period. Yeah,
Oh my god. We used to drink MD 2022 though in Boone's Farm.
that shit.
Sorry, Jen, I cut you off. The food
Oh,
glitter
no, no,
thing
no,
was
you're good,
I
you're
don't
fucking me
want to
good.
up.
get. I don't want to get to talk about alcohol. I have a lot of alcohol stories. Alright, so
Same.
Now with
You say
with
macaroni
gaming,
bar?
yeah, done a macaroni bar where Tony makes they'll do like a baked macaroni and then everybody brings some toppings for it, bacon, chives. Uh, now that you're asking me, I can't remember the other things that we brought in to work with it. Um, but
I'm
yeah,
listening.
the veggie tray thing, done that one. Charcuterie boards are
yeah, yeah,
great for that too. Um, but yeah, for as far as at home, usually like when we do our meetings on Wednesday nights and tonight, um, it's usually like right after dinner, and if not, it's later than that if I have an earlier dinner. So I snack, and my snacks are usually I can't snack during our sessions because I'm the note taker.
Yeah, you are. You're busy. You're a busy girl. I could not live without you. I'm just putting that out there that my life would be ruined without you.
yeah. Any players in my campaigns they're watching, please one of you become taker.
Note takers are
Happen. Yeah.
golden.
Yeah, I've never had a note taker, and I would really like to have her.
If you can be a note taker for your game, it makes you pay it as a note taker. It makes me pay attention to what's going on. I know sometimes I'll like stall you guys and go, "Wait a minute, what was this?" Like,
Like, we
hold
would
up, wait a
remember it.
minute.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
Yeah.
like
we
when
would
you
remember to get
recap
into it.
us,
Yeah.
because
Uh,
I'll be real honest. Like I don't prep for the next session. It just
Yeah.
kind of whatever happens. So as long as I know what happened in the session previous, like we're good. But you are invaluable.
Yeah.
Note takers should be protected at all costs.
Yeah. At all costs.
It's fun. It is. I like it. And I got to draw Noah's character's tattoo,
Yes.
so that was fun.
Yes.
Because I'm sure enough cannot draw the Brotherhood symbol. Like,
That's because that symbol is stupid and the Brotherhood can get fucked.
I mean,
Raider for life. Hashtag fuck off.
I had an order of a scribe wizard having for my group died.
How'd you let him die?
This is
I have
please
questions.
tell me he
because-
died. It was his character that died, not him. 'Cause
Oh
that-
yeah,
Yeah,
we should
that
clarify
would be
that. Is it
possible.
the actual? My condolences if it was the actual person. I apologize. I'm an asshole. But I have questions. Type faster. I
Well-
have follow-up questions.
While we're doing that, this kind of segues in. So.
Just okay.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
I was about to be an asshole. I'm sorry. But yeah, make a new one. Get a new one.
Yeah. What was I going?
Segue. What are we segueing?
5 things your GMs wish you could tell your players, or 5 things players wish they could tell their GMs, or 5 things players wish they could tell other players while they're playing that annoys them.
Yeah. Your paladin was gone for 2 weeks, and you were. Yeah, I can imagine. Was the GM lost? Because I would have been. I'd be like, I have no fucking clue what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody has
We
to
can't
be
play.
like,
Jen's not here.
yeah. When you have ADHD, somebody else has to be a regulator. Yeah.
We all have ADHD.
Yeah. Do you have ADHD, Jen?
don't think so. I have a lot of tendencies where I live in an ADHD household.
Okay.
So I know that I have some tendencies here and there, but I like the calm that organization brings me. So
Oh no,
note
that stresses me
taking-
out.
I'm organizing my fabric this week and like for the next forever because it all has to be organized so I can find it. It's all sorted by color. It's wrapped around. It's hanging file folders. and sorted out.
No. When you and I video
It's
chatted the first
beautiful.
time ever on our first date, Jen, and then you took me into your garage and you showed me your file cabinets with all of your fabric in it, I was in love. I was like, oh my god, I really want to do this in my life, and I
I'm
can't.
Yeah.
bringing that
Yeah.
into my house.
Oh my gosh, I want to be you when I grow up.
Yeah, I can't do that. I know where everything is just because my mind just makes a mental note of it, but like I live in
Yeah.
utter chaos. Like I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
not be in chaos. But yeah,
Well, like
so
I've
like
got spell jars and shit everywhere.
so like 5 things that I wish I could tell players is don't
Take your
do
own
the
damn notes.
safest thing. Yeah, take your notes, take your notes. That's a personal, but I can't hold that. I can't hold them to that. But if they wanted to, I would appreciate it. Don't do the safest thing for your character. Do the coolest thing for your character. This isn't a video game where you're just trying to make it to the end. You're trying to make a cool story. So make a cool story. Like don't like we're not playing God of War here. You know, there is no surviving to the end. This is all about
Like-
like being able to talk about it, 6 months from now. Like, remember that one time when you did this? Remember when that happened?
Where you were
That's what I
flinging
want.
shit like
Yeah,
a
yeah, like
what is it
Holy
called?
water?
priest- yeah, like
Yes.
holy water. Yeah, but like,
Yeah, about that.
and I could have pulled out a gun or something, but like that was better. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, just like do.
You had a better aim with that arm than you do with a gun, anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
Hold on. for context for the viewers out there, my crew here at one point, because they all drank Nuka Brown, which was something they fucking made up on the spot, shit themselves because I needed some sort of recourse. And then Joe's character had a severed arm of someone and flung
That's mine.
through like
That's
holy
mine.
water. Oh, it was your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
lost
was
it
And
because
it,
of
alive.
it
critical
wasn't
failure.
just that, it was throw up from the guards, and then
Yeah.
we kind of accidentally overkilled the guards, so there was
Yeah, that
blood.
definitely
And
backfired.
so
Yeah.
it was just rub the lemon that and swing it around, and people leave you the fuck alone.
True.
Yeah.
That's
And then
true. If you're
Maddie,
swinging
but then
through it, then
Maddie
I'm not
committed a
gonna do
literal war crime and crushed a child. So,
No, hold on. I am on watch list now, thanks to
Yeah.
you fuckers.
Yeah.
I had to Google how to force feed a quadriplegic because somebody, Joe, decided that it was a good idea to, hey, in Fallout lore, if you eat 40 cans of pork and beans, your shit grows back.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how Fallout works. I mean, like, you eat 20 squirrels on a stick, your hand just magically heals itself. That's how
No,
this shit
yeah,
works.
no, but in order because I'm a good GM and I want to make sure that shit's thorough and correct, I had to Google force feeding a quadriplegic.
And now we know. We learned something
Now
new.
we know. We do know that it does require restraint sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope Maddie's
stuff.
watching this so that she
I fucking
knows
hope she
that,
is.
you know.
Sorry,
was a
what's
war
your next thing
crime.
to tell them, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
That was a literal war crime.
Yeah. Does it say what I would tell my players? Don't say something like this is what I can see my character doing. And for them to just
Yeah.
do it. Yeah, yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Just do it. Just do it. I would say I think.
Well, the
Don't
people
be
that play their
selfish.
characters like they are, like who they are,
Yeah.
or the hide behind, oh, this is what my character would do. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if it's like something bad, and you're like, but no, 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 that's what my character would do.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Live the life of the consequences. Yeah. 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 And embrace consequences. But yeah, don't be selfish was the big thing. It's like it's not just your story; it's everyone's story. I think Kristen does a really good job of spreading that out because she actively asks everyone, "What are you doing?" You know, that's I think
try.
a really important thing that we should probably actually do. When we do another episode, we should talk about that in depth about how to get everybody engaged. But yeah, I mean, another thing would be embrace dying. Learn how to have fun dying, because if you can learn how to have fun dying, you'll have fun in any and all aspects of playing the game.
Says the
Because
man that treats his character like an NPC.
yeah, but that's just it. Like it's like I have fun no matter what happens because if my character dies, it's great. Like let's talk like I wasn't when
We'll
Matt
just
when
throw them
Matt died.
in a puddle of radiated water and
Yeah,
let them sit
yeah,
for a little bit.
yeah.
We'll force feed
Like
him. It's fine.
when I killed Matt's character Marty, like he was all for it. He was having a blast. He was just like, yeah, this is
Right?
great.
Literal blast.
Yeah, literal blast. Because it's like, yeah, like this is adds to the story in a way that like is cool and like once you get over the fact that your character could die and that's okay, and I think this kind of goes off on a point that it's a character, it's not you. I think people
Yeah.
kind of forget that. It's like you're just trying to figure out what this character's story is. You're not
But
trying to
that's a
do
fine
anything for
line
you.
too, though.
Yeah.
People tend to tie themselves to their characters and get
Yeah.
emotionally attached to their characters too, though.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah. And that's okay, and I get that, but at the same time, it's still a character, and it's important for you to know the difference and acknowledge the difference so you can have more fun. Because, like, I mean, like, I guess from my point of view, I come from like the old school Renaissance world where characters die all the time, and you think about it in terms of a character, and it's like when you're playing like a level 0 farmer who only has like a pitchfork and he's just trying to survive against this monster, and he dies real quick. It's just like, man, this guy's life sucked. You know what I mean? And
Right?
that's just like his character. That's his story. But yeah, I think I get that people like feel connected, and especially like fifth edition, where your characters are kind of superheroes and super powerful, and you're not really supposed to die very often. he can get. There is a power trip associated with that game as well. I
Yeah.
can see where that problem lies. I guess it depends on your perspective, but I would say even for a 5th edition player, if you're okay with with your character dying, you're going to have a better story because you're going to take bigger risks.
More risks.
Yeah, which is going to make it. I'm not sure how
Well,
many
and
of
I'll
them
throw it
was,
out
but
there. I'm good with Sally biting the dust as long as she bites the dust in a big way, and I have a backup
Well,
character planned.
getting
yeah,
on that though, like, and I kind of take a role from Matt's table, which Matt is, he's on here sometimes, and he is the one that kind of taught me, like, got me into gaming and taught me how to, like, basic GM stuff, and I go to him a lot for a lot of things, but and I kind of run with his rules, even from my 7C table and the Fallout table is for 7C, like, you're not gonna die unless you're fighting a villain, unless I have a danger point to spend, and unless we've talked about it beforehand. Because if I'm going to kill your character, we're going to go out in a badass way.
and EbTech is kind of talking about when they said that be kind of anticlimactic if they died unceremoniously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it
and
depends.
everybody's a hero in their own story. Like,
Yeah,
every character I play is a hero in my story. And heroes don't just die.
yeah. I guess that's the thing is I don't play heroes. I play
Yeah.
a character. Like I just play
Yeah.
like I don't like playing leads. When I was in acting classes in college, I didn't play leads. I was a character actor. I don't. I like being a character, the hero, if that makes sense. So like, if my character dies, I'm just like, whatever. That's cool.
Yeah.
Something else.
But we need your charisma.
And my
Can't
charisma has
die
not worked. My charisma has not worked like this entire game.
Well,
So
but one of the things I love about Joe's character Eddie is that if I need to further the plot, I can always count on Eddie to do something that's going to help me further the plot.
yeah, because I'll take risks with that character all day, every day. I don't care.
Yeah.
Lose an
And
arm, it's fine. Lose a leg,
Yeah.
we're back.
what
I'll
else you
pass
got,
it on
Phil?
now. I'll
Who you
pass it.
passing
I'm
to?
gonna do. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I think that's all I gotta say. Um. Also, okay, yeah, one more thing. If you can roll multiple dice at the same time, do it at the same time. That's just
Yeah.
like a little pet peeve of mine. Just like if you know you have advantage, you have two d20 sitting there. Roll both the d20 at the same time. Don't sit
Hell
there
yeah.
and roll one. Don't
I
annoy me
mean,
like that. But that's just
so
an
annoying.
OCD thing.
Stop
Um,
it.
That's why we need so many dice.
yeah. And then I guess
No,
okay.
we
pretty
need
One
the
last
dice
thing.
because it's who we are.
Yeah. One last thing is learn other games. Just expose yourself to other games so you get different perspectives. Because you never know, you might like something better. And guess what?
Oh yeah.
If you're my player, I'm more likely to play something that isn't, super mainstream than something that is. Like, if you come to me and you're like, I really want to play RuneQuest, guess what? I will gladly run RuneQuest for you. So it's like, yeah, explore the games,
Oh yeah.
find cool stuff, enjoy the hobby for all that. And I'll pass it
yeah.
on. Whoever wants to go next.
I've
Go.
never GM'd, so I'm going to leave it to Kristen.
Okay. Let's see. 5. Only 5.
You could do more.
5-ish.
5. Okay. So my first thing is, and I've told you guys. I told you when you started playing on my table is that I want to create a story that you want to go tell your partner about.
Yeah.
I want you to hit end on my Zoom call and say, "Holy fuck, here's what we just did." And so, in that aspect, I really tend to operate under the rule of cool versus the
Yeah.
actual rule book.
Yeah.
Because
Rule
if you're
of cool
telling
should
me
be in every rule book.
exactly,
That
but if
should
you're
be rule
telling
number
me
one,
like
really.
your character did something or you're like, "Hey, this would be cool," it is my job as a GM to listen to that because you are, and I've told y'all before, I am very protective of y'all's time. I'm protective of my
Yeah.
time. And I understand that you are giving me those 2 or 3 hours out of your week to play at my table. So I want to make sure that I'm respectful of that, and I want to make sure I give you the game that you fucking want.
Yeah.
And if y'all are having fun, then I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Bottom
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
You gave me my junk jet, and I am forever grateful.
You are forever
And
welcome. Well, and another thing is that I know because as a player, people like to throw dice.
Yeah.
And whether the situation calls for it or not, if there's an opportunity to let you guys fucking roll dice, I'm gonna let you roll dice. And even if it is, hey, will you roll this d20 for me? And I'm like, okay, and then we go on to something. That d20 may not have meant shit in the
Yeah.
game, but you look like you wanted to roll a dice, so we're gonna roll a dice.
And also,
Um,
it can create a consequence. Like it gives you a
absolutely,
reason to create a consequence.
Like, oh, you
absolutely,
just
and
happen to roll a natural 1.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden, it's like, well, something bad happens to you, and I
yeah,
had no plan, but now this is
right.
yeah. It's like, now I
Just
And
can
keep
get to
watching over your shoulder.
yeah, like that. It gives you an
98%
excuse
of
to
the
fuck
time,
with your character.
I don't have a plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a general idea of like where I kind of want the story to end up at that section, but I don't. Hold on, I have to ask why Zoom have an aversion to tools. Okay, so I use Zoom because I don't like Roll20, I don't like Discord, and I
Uh,
pay for Zoom and it's unlimited. I can record, and all of my players are across the country. Like I'm in Texas, Jen's in what, North Carolina,
South Carolina.
South Carolina, Joe's in Ohio. Like
yeah.
everybody's from everywhere because I collect people from the internet in a creepiest way possible. So Zoom is just easiest for me to use. That's the answer. Uh, but I have no idea where the story wants to go. But what I watch y'all's reactions to things and I gauge that reaction to direct the story. And my job as a GM, I wholeheartedly believe, is to supply scenery and bad guys, and you guys tell me the fucking story.
Just the toys. Give them the toys. Watch the
Uh-huh.
kids play with them.
And watch them play. Another thing GMs want to tell their players is if I let you talk amongst yourselves long enough, you're going to tell me what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
You
if I
want
have
to
no clue,
avenge dog meat.
I figured that was a thing.
Yeah,
Um,
that was obvious. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything to the poor dog. You all started it. You brought on yourselves.
Oh, no. Well, it's fine, Chris.
It's there's so much more.
Somebody else's head's getting put on a pike.
And GMs like most, I say most, GMs, the new players that are so nervous and shit, we just want you to just put yourself out there and be fucking stupid. Because if
Yeah.
you're on my table being fucking stupid, I can guarantee you that I'm not gonna make you feel dumb.
Yeah.
I'm going to be as dumb as you are.
Well, you're going to give like I've done really stupid shit. You gave me luck points for it, so I mean, like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's like
Like
it's
I
about
sprinkle
creating a
that
cool
shit on
story.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's about creating a cool story. It's not about you being a badass. Once again, this is not a video game, it's a tabletop
right.
game. It's about a story, not about you winning.
Yeah.
There's nothing to
And the only
win.
way that you're gonna win is if you make the GM hit their head on the table and say fuck,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah,
y'all have done. You have
yeah,
won
yeah,
Fallout tabletop.
yeah.
But there's some in every time you guys throw something at me that I am not prepared for.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Well, you're not supposed to be prepared for it. Like, if everything goes exactly how you think it goes, it's probably
Yeah.
there's probably something wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Like that's one of the reasons I kind of stopped planning my sessions because early on when I was running 7th, my old table, I had 3 detailed adventures for them to go on from 3 different choices, and they had to talk to the pirate queen and they had to go do something else. That's what they needed to do.
Yeah.
And they needed to leave the fucking island. That's all I wanted was to get off the island. There was 3 different things for them to do once they left the island. No, they stayed on the island. They built forts. They militarized
Yeah.
pirates. They created orphanages to have baby pirates.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? That's a better story, probably, honestly.
It was, and I tell the
Yeah,
story all the time.
yeah.
So, but the sillier you
And
are,
now
the
you
more
have
fun you're
those 3
having, and the
other
happier the
stories
GM is.
just for for later.
No. I definitely made them feel bad about it afterwards. They almost died a lot.
Well, yeah, because that doesn't mean the plot doesn't go forward. You can still forward your plot.
Oh yeah, but that's
So,
my.
you know,
Those are my
yeah,
5. Is just have fucking fun. I mean, every GM wants you to have fun,
yeah,
and I say that some don't. Some want to like, and it's never ever. If you're on a table where your GM is it's the GM against you as a player, get off that table, please.
yeah, yeah. Because
Because it
that's
should
not
never
gonna
be
be
y'all
fun.
2 against each other.
Yeah, and every once in a while you do run into those people. Usually when you're younger, like high school, you meet the adversarial GM.
Yeah.
But like sorry, every once in a while you see it. It's just sort of like, well, why am I here? You know what I mean? Like it's like I thought we
Yeah.
were here to make a cool story, not to game against each other. This isn't a war game. This isn't Warhammer 40K. This isn't what
No.
I'm here to do. Yeah, nothing to
Yeah, like
prove. But
I
unless
mean, our
unless you're doing,
Fallout's a war game, but it's more of a takes place after a war
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
game.
I like
Post-nuclear war.
if you're playing Tomb of Horrors, then it is adversarial because that entire module is not adversarial. Like it's just there to kill you. Something like that, then fine. But like otherwise, don't.
yeah, and it's not fun. It you if you and I've talked to several players, so like, oh, I don't want to play like that because a long time ago I played on this table and everything we encountered we couldn't beat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And your players want to get past it. They want to
yeah,
level up. They want to do something awesome. And if you are steadily like just making it incredibly hard for them, they're not going to want to play anymore.
yeah,
Oh, another thing as a GM that I would tell my players, I don't use HP for big bads.
yeah,
Y'all fight until it quits being fun.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
really don't have any HP written down. It's until it quits being fun
yeah.
is how much HP they have.
It's just a timing thing.
Yeah.
Back to your original point. I think it was Robin D. Laws who talks about players want to succeed 2/3 of the time.
Hmm.
That two
Sounds like a
thirds is
good
like the magic
concept.
number.
Yeah.
So for every 2 successes, then you can throw in a harder situation that they're probably going to fail. If they succeed that, you can throw an even harder one until they fail, and then you reset it. And they give them normal to easy after that. Or if they keep failing, you make it easier so that they can get those successes.
Right.
And that's where the prep will fail you, is because you'll look at your prep and think, well, this has to be this level of an encounter,
Right.
and it's like no, like during the session, if they're failing at everything, make that shit easier. You know what I mean?
Right. Let them
Or,
let them win some.
yeah. But if all they're doing is winning and they're not failing at all, that's also going to be boring for them. Make it a little bit harder
Right.
Yeah,
until
it's gotta
they yeah,
do a sliding level of difficulty.
yeah, yeah,
Well, and if y'all are encountering something that you can't beat and that big bag gets away, then y'all are going to be looking for that adversary at
yeah,
every turn. And
yeah,
eventually you're going to re-encounter that adversary just like in a movie
yeah, yeah, yeah,
where it kicks your ass the first time and the second time or third time you defeat them.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So just
At least
yeah,
that's my
that's
take on it.
so sorry I didn't mean to interrupt. So
No,
back
you're
to
great. But I mean, most GMs want you guys to feel like badasses. And we want you to, like, for lack of a better word, to win. We want you to have that win. Because if you have these successes, you will want to keep playing. And honestly, let's be real, Ariel. Y'all are the only reason I have friends. Like,
Let's be real, y'all are the only
yeah,
reason I have
yeah,
friends.
see?
yeah,
Hey, y'all are
same,
one of the reasons I have friends.
yeah,
I have
same.
my scrapbook buddies too.
And Jen, I will tell you that it thrills me to no end that you started on my table and you're interested in playing other games and playing
Yeah,
other things. Like that makes me so happy that because and I when we first started this table because you were new, Maddie's new, Natalie's new to tabletop gaming, I wanted to make sure that this was a safe, pleasant, interactive, good experience for you guys because I didn't want to be the one that ruined tabletop gaming for you and I wanted
No,
to make
you
sure
were
that
a
my
great
table was a safe
introduction.
place. Thank you. Well, that's another thing that is a GM's responsibility is to make sure the table is safe,
yeah, yeah,
and that's why y'all got the survey beforehand because I didn't know
yeah,
any of you, and I
yeah,
wanted to make sure that because I have a tendency to say some fucked up shit, but I wanted to make sure that I was being respectful
yeah.
of you guys because
And
my moral compass
yeah,
doesn't always point north. Like,
and I've been at some horrible tables. I've heard some horrible things because those safety tools in place, and so it's just nice to have it there. 'Cause random dudes on the internet can say some really disgusting shit if they can get
right?
away with. Um, I mean, it's just it is what it is.
Well, and not random, dudes in person on tables
Yeah.
can say fucked up shit.
Oh, I've been there. I've been there. You want to talk about awkward? Like, oof. I mean, I've
And
been in some situations where it's like you could cut the tension with a knife in the room because it's so awkward, and the guy just didn't understand it, and yeah, it's just like, ugh. You get the ick,
but
and you're just stuck there.
I've got a mouth on me. Like I'm pretty quick. I'm pretty like self-confident and I will fire back, but I told a guy
Yeah.
that I would write his wife a note with his blood if he touched me again. It
And I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
I will cut a bitch. Don't even play. But I just I want to make sure, and I take that responsibility seriously. Is
Yeah.
in the basically for whatever open door policy of if you're not comfortable with something that happened on my table, come talk to me about it,
Yeah.
and I will
I,
either rectify it or I will apologize
yeah.
because I'm supposed to keep you safe.
Yeah. I use the X card. If you feel like something's uncomfortable during the game, you can use that X card at any point. It's like it stops right then and there. I
Oh
don't.
yeah. Well, and on 7th Sea we've done some pretty you know
Fucked up
Yeah.
risky
shit.
shit.
But every
And
group
I
is
mean, y'all
different.
heard excerpts from our
Yeah.
table, but there are certain things. Like one guy was tied up, and there were things. Um, but before, like where when I could see where it was headed because of all the other input from players, I said, "Hold on, time out. Let's talk about the table for just a minute." And I asked the two people that were directly involved. I was like, "Do you want to commit to the bit? Is this what you want to do? Because you can see where this is going." And they're both comfortable enough with me to, and I can read them well enough to, because we've been playing for almost 3 years, to know if they were being, if they weren't feeling pressured or whatever. I'm like, is this what you want to do? And I knew them well enough that it was probably a yes, but I still wanted to check in at that point
Yeah.
because it was a hefty subject. And they said, yeah. So we moved on forward with it. Everybody had a great time. We moved on. But I will always, if I see something that's kind of edging that line, I will stop and I'll be like, okay, we need to talk about the table for just a minute because
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt your view of gaming,
Yeah.
yourself. I don't want to hurt any of that.
Yeah. Just supposed to be a good time. That's all it's supposed to
It
be.
is.
I don't need to know what people are into. You know what I mean? Like I don't
No.
need to know all that other
Well,
shit. You know, it's just
and I've walked away from tables completely fucking heartbroken because I love the game so much, but that table specifically was ruined for me because of
but
interactions.
but new players they don't know the difference, so they just
They don't.
they've. Which speaking of new players, Jed, what do you have? Do you have anything you
Yeah.
want to say to other players, maybe?
Or to
Ordered.
me, or
Or
I love the fact that you had the consent sheets, and I mentioned it to my son because he does. My oldest one uh, does a lot of homebrew games, and he's like, "Mom, I tortured my players today," and I was like, "Don't torture your players."
it's
and
not an
so
ant
he would,
farm.
and so he told me, he's like, "Yeah," he said, "I would bring up something from their backstory for them to overcome, and then do this," and um, he's like, "I almost did a total party wipe." I said, "Don't do that. Don't do a total party wipe." Um, but he's been playing with a crew that he really enjoys. They've had some toxic players, and he's like, "Well, I have this toxic player. How do I deal with them?"
Hmm.
I'm like, "Well, you talk to the group, talk to the person, and if the person doesn't knock it off, talk to the group again and say, hey, what do you guys think about booting them?" And if the whole group says, "Yeah, boot them," then yeah,
yeah,
it's for the good of the table,
yeah.
Absolutely.
dude.
As
Um,
long as they're not violent. If they get violent, they're gonna have to cancel the game in
Yeah.
quotation marks, and then just make
Yeah.
a new campaign later on and
Hmm.
don't invite them.
yeah,
If they're a violent type of person, you
Yeah.
just saying, "Hey, you're not a right fit," it's not gonna work. Type of people.
Yeah. And your GM should take that seriously. Honestly, like if y'all came to me and said, "Hey, this has been kind of going on for a while. I don't like this." Like I would, okay, because I'm the next stop between you and that player.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
if that's an issue, I address it and be like, all right, you can't play with us anymore. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's the whole party's responsibility. It's not just the GM's responsibility. Like anybody can really say that to them. Hey,
Mhm.
I think everyone should have the responsibility to be like, "Hey, that's fucked up."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, at this point in my gaming life, that's just what I do. If I see something that's fucked up, I'll just say it. You know, because I don't care. I could be the bad guy, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like it's
Um,
you're not
but
going to put other people
no.
a certain way.
And chances are the GM has probably already noticed it.
Yeah, that's not true. I have depends on the type of G. It depends on what they're
Yeah.
focused on. Uh, um, depends on what game they're playing. Because if they have a lot of stuff going on behind the screen, they might not notice.
Yeah, that's paramount for me. Like I watch you
Yeah,
guys' interactions, or like, and I
yeah,
watch you guys' faces. That's why it's such a big deal for me to have the videos on Zoom. Is because if I look at you and you are not having a good time, I will check in with you. Hey, are you just having a bad day, or is this a bad session? So, what else you got, Jen?
Um, your consent form things, I really, really like those. They felt a little awkward at first, but it was also my very first table
Right.
thing to it. But uh, once I was looking at it, I'm like, this is a really good idea. And then as I'm looking at other games and how their sessions could be, um, and I watched more sessions on TV, like, okay, this, these consent forms, they're great
Mhm.
because they give you that, hopefully, a way to where you can kind of, the roadblocks that you need to
Mhm.
avoid, kind of thing. So it gives you kind of a safe path. And
Well, and I keep that in my Fallout binder, and I look at that every once in a while. I mean, I know you guys well enough now,
yeah.
but I still
Mhm.
go back and check of, am I is what we're doing okay? Like before I put dog meat on the vertibird, I absolutely looked at your consent forms.
And I mean, yeah, that's an important thing. Is always going back to reference. But you also have to accept that it's not the be all end all. I think some people think that if I once you figure this out, that's where it ends. It's like no, it's always sort of it kind of morphs. So you still have to be empathetic at the moment. Um,
Yeah. Well,
and
and if it had been more than like a couple, that situation would have gone differently
uh,
when it was described or what y'all found or whatever. Like I would have gone a different direction.
yeah,
But that helps me
I
guide people.
I'm looking forward to seeing how that wraps up. And that
I was
is
gonna
this Wednesday, right? Day
Yep.
after
yes.
tomorrow, game night.
Yep. Yep.
I
Yep.
think um,
Is your
what
mom
I
gonna play?
told um, I'm gonna have her come over to my house
Okay.
and we'll do session. And so I'll still have it on the laptop, but no headset, so that we can both hear and chat.
I
Um,
love it.
and I'm gonna give her a pre-made game sheet from that other Fallout one that I
Mhm.
have that's got the preset characters. I'm just gonna hand her one of those and say, okay.
Perfect.
That's how it works.
And
That's
I
how it
have
works.
plenty
We'll,
of dice to play with.
we'll
So,
roll with it. So hell yeah.
Awesome.
What else you got, Jim?
oh gosh,
Is there anything that I could have done to ease you in a little bit better?
suggested I take notes from the beginning.
Since I'm not a note taker, I didn't think about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
uh, I didn't take notes in high school, let alone
Yeah,
during
same.
game.
um, no, I just didn't do homework. Um, but no, being taking notes on it, I like it because I can flip back and I can see where I started taking the notes, and I can see where before that I had like maybe a scribble or two of something.
Mhm.
And but being able to do that, I'm like, oh, I remember when we did this. And when we talked about, hey, when Noah joined and with him and Randall, I'm like, yeah, this is how far this is how long this has been going on.
Yeah.
And it's I like that we have strayed from our initial mission. I know we were supposed to be getting Nuka-Cola Quantums.
Yep.
Oh
That's what
yeah.
we were supposed to be getting.
Uh,
And that's gone from having to get Nuka-Cola Quantums to getting fusion blocks to getting fusion cores to,
To getting drugs for Hancock.
uh,
yeah. So now it's just okay,
Yep.
well, and now, we gotta avenge Dog Meat and Preston and go figure out what the fuck's going on there.
Oh, I forgot I killed Preston Garvey too.
Yeah, same episode. like less than 5 minutes later.
Let's say it was a no
I didn't
for-
expect y'all to go that quickly. Just for the record. Oops.
Anything else, Jen?
Oh, actually, there's absolutely nothing I could think of. But I love that there's a variety of different styles
Yeah.
and different games and different ways to play them. So
Have you
I'm
played in your
excited
West
for it.
Marches game yet? Your D&D game on Discord?
No, I keep getting the notifications of, hey, we got this coming up, and I'm just haven't taken that step yet because
That's
I don't. Yeah, just feel like okay, if I jump in, I'm like, what am I jumping into?
You'll be happy if you do when you do it. Like it's gonna be
Yeah,
worth
yeah.
it.
Or you'll find out that it's not for you.
Or it's
Like,
not for
oh,
you.
okay, well, now I know I like it.
But if you decide that it's not for you, I recommend giving it like 2 or 3 sessions
Oh yeah,
because it could be an off night, or you don't understand the mechanics yet, or the players could be shitheads.
Yeah.
But give it a couple sessions before you decide that that's not your thing. You're gonna be jamming before too long. No,
Jamming is
I
fun.
played exactly 3 sessions of 7th Sea before I started jamming.
It takes a certain type of personality to do it well.
I don't know if I do it well, but I'm having fun doing it.
Because you have to like juggling plates.
if
like,
you weren't
the
doing it
whole
well,
spinning
you
plate.
wouldn't be running the tables that you're running.
Yeah, like if you don't do it well, you'll hate it. Like you'll hate it. It's too much mental work. If to hate
Yeah.
doing it, like you can't do it like if it's not something you love doing, you just like physically. It's just too much mental.
Well, and we had talked on a few podcasts ago about GM for pay, like professional GM,
Yeah,
and that's one of the reasons I haven't really followed through on it is because I don't want it to be a job.
yeah, yeah. Then it's a lot more
Because
pressure.
well, yeah, and I don't want to like I don't want. This is how I relax. Like hanging out with you guys
Yeah.
is how I chill.
Yeah. And if it's like if you have an off night or something, it's not a big deal. Or if you have an off night and somebody paid you $15 an hour or
Right,
whatever,
that's a
all of a
different
sudden,
thing. Well, and if I have
okay,
an off
not for
night
that.
or if I'm not feeling it, like when my dad died, on my 7th Sea table, I was like, I was talking to Matt and I was like, I don't want to run a game, but
Yeah,
I need to get something normal back in my life.
yeah,
I've got to have that not complacency, but I've got to have that thing that I've been doing. And he's like, okay, well here, what about this? And we just like created NPCs for the ship that night. But the fact that I got on and I played with my friends and they all knew what had
yeah,
happened and everybody was super supportive and very just gentle with me. And like the day, it's back to gaming makes families 100% of the time. Uh, whenever they called me, my dad called me to confirm that he had cancer. I was playing 76 with my friend Sandra and Dutch and a few other people. And I said, hey, my dad's calling me up. Can you hold on? Because they all kind of knew we were waiting for the confirmation that it was cancer. And I got back on the mic and I said, hey, like it's brain cancer, like it's terminal. Can y'all just, I need a minute. And they all stood around me, my character, so that I didn't get like ambushed or killed or anything for almost an hour while I sat there and cried until I came back. But they all stood there and protected me for like an hour. So like gaming is, I will never stop because it's family and people care. Sorry, that was a tangent, but anyway, it, even if you're having an off night, like when you're not doing it for pay, your friends are probably a lot more understanding than somebody
yeah,
paying you. Just saying.
yeah. So keep that in mind. Like you'll either like it or you'll be able to do it or you won't. Like I know a lot of players who are just like I will never give because it's just it is what. I mean, everyone knows their core.
Well, and there's such a thing as a forever GM.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a forever GM to be perfectly
I'm a
honest.
forever GM.
I prefer GM. I like it.
I like both sides. I like playing because I can like kind of turn my brain off and play.
I realize that I need a certain type of GM to get play because I do need to be able to phone it in. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and that sucks. But like, I need I I need a certain type of GM to be a player.
Me.
Yeah.
Just me. When
I
I'm
need a
like,
certain type of game, certain type of group.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be mentally exhausted.
Well, and I don't think that all of us approach the table with like expectations of how the
Yeah.
night is gonna go.
Yeah.
I think that at least I hope that I've set sort of precedence of we'll have a good time. It just may be something that you weren't expecting.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine with me. um,
Yeah, I know. I know when am. I know when I log into Zoom, and I'm like, okay, you know, we're gonna murder something.
yeah. Something's gonna
Maybe.
die. Yeah. Possibly a
Hopefully
child.
not me.
Maddie.
I'm just saying, if you give Millie a rolling pin, somebody's gonna
Yeah.
bleed.
So
A lot.
I guess
A
before we
lot. A
wrap
lot.
up here, you guys want to give your Fallout 76 updates? Because I don't have any. Played.
I don't have any right now. I haven't played.
Mine is just
Done.
I'm loving the new update. The new events are pretty fun. I like the new events. I do, and I know that it's brought back some folks who've said, "Hey, there's something new here." So, new plans for the camp and outfits and such. I told my husband, I said, the 76 is like 25% fashion and
Yeah.
like 50% camp building, and the other
Yeah.
25% is like questing and combat.
Yeah.
Hold on. My red asylum dress and my tinfoil hat look legit. Just saying that I'm the cutest psych ward patient out there.
My only issue is that the Chinese stealth suit like takes away fashion. I prefer to dress as a
Yeah.
cultist.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah,
need like
no.
an outerwear on that one.
Yeah. Like I.
My tinfoil hat makes me happy.
So any other thoughts? Anything
I
else
need to
before we?
update my PS5. That's what I'm gonna do when we log off of here. Is update my 76 on my 5.
I gotta update
Well,
Linux. I get to.
yay.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
I'm
Thank y'all for
good.
Alright.
joining us, though.
Hey Jen, do you wanna
Yes.
sign us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to our loyal and new listeners and viewers. We love you and appreciate you so much. Thank you for enjoying us this evening as much as we enjoy you. If you ever have any questions, concerns, comments, always let us know. We don't bite.
I do.
We got to know you first.
Not even then, but it's okay.
So, thank you very much, everybody. You guys have a great night, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.